Okay, I knew that I wanted to make a documentary, so I thought, why not just do a documentary on iZikhothani and see what the culture of iZikhothani was like in Cape Town, because we always sing Joburg iZikhothani.
I wanted to find out more about who are these people that get involved in the subculture.
I really have a passion for documentary making, so I was immediately sort of drawn to iKasi Heartbeat because I thought it would be a really interesting experience going into a township.
I wanted to know the people or the individuals. I actually wanted to explore the psychology and of these people, to actually know them more personally.
I was really intrigued by the people's their need to have better clothes, or the need to this wastage, by what really interested the people in the culture to be a part of the culture.
Biggest success, I would say, choosing the characters, especially choosing Sindisa, who's our lead character, because he has been quite accommodating.
The biggest success we've achieved at this project is probably the fact that we've been able to deal with the community very well, the Philippi community. We've been able to interact with them on a regular basis. We've been able to interact with them sensitively. We've been able to portray them sensitively, I hope.
My biggest success is probably the skills I've acquired that I didn't have before starting this project. I had to learn so much about equipment that I didn't know anything about, and I feel really, really comfortable with as a cinematographer now.
I feel like my biggest success was actually getting out of my comfort zone. Because initially when I was in screen production last year and this year, I was mainly just sitting and listening to people.
I've learned that, I don't know, it's just simple, that film production it's quite demanding, and you have to give all of yourself. Like you put your whole self into it, otherwise it doesn't work, especially when you're doing documentary.
It doesn't matter how good your plans are, or how hard you've planned, or how long you've planned for them. On a documentary, when you're dealing with young people, these things can change very quickly. For example, the main shoot that we'd had penciled in right from the start was a big dance competition that was supposed to happen on the 27th of September, and we arrived on the day at the right time. We had no subjects, we had no venue, and we had no dance competition. It had all been cancelled the day before, or something like that.
I've learned that we really, as documentary makers, you need to be so patient with the subject, because you're coming into their lives. We're kind of intruding and asking them to sort of show us their lives, and they're still carrying on with our lives, even though that is our main focus. So that we need to schedule around their lives, their everyday lives.
You can't really get what you want out of it straight away. You can't really get what you want out of it tomorrow. But if you really stick through it and you persist and you work with your group, you can learn to work around what you get and then adapt it to how you want it to show in the edit.
A lot of documentaries have come about talking about iZikhothani, but I feel like the way that they took it was, how they did it was quite judgmental. For me, I wanted to take a personal look of how it makes them feel, and I feel like that I contributed something different to the documentary making, especially with regards to iZikhothani.
As a producer, you try to produce something that is going to be a little bit different from what other people have done before, which I think iKasi Heartbeat has to a large extent done. Instead of just being an outsider's documentary about Philippi, it was actually more about the people in, and it was involving more people in the community itself. So it was more of a hybridized production, as it were.
As a cinematographer, I had to recognize little moments of action that would reveal something bigger, a bigger meaning about the township as a whole. So we spend quite a bit of time in the township getting to know the subjects better and presenting their point of view. So I think our documentary is a more progressive type of documentary.
Documentary is sort of like a way to actually tell stories, especially like black stories that were not told before. So I feel like my job was actually try to actually do that, to tell a story from the the sound and production point of view, so that whatever you see and whatever you hear, it actually makes sense. It actually tells a story.
I feel like our documentary will contribute to South Africa's documentary industry in general, as it does show a part of life in an area of South Africa. It's about real people, it's about a real environment and a real subculture.